Hello, my name is Vytautas Baltus, and I'm Associate Professor at our Faculty of Civil Engineering and Architecture at KTU. I am also a professional architect with more than 20 years of experience. I predominantly worked on private houses, but I also designed apartment buildings, shopping malls, factories. I worked on landscape design and especially on interior design. I also taught students how to draw by hand and also use various possible help from computer software. And this semester, I'm going to be your guide through your first steps in a very powerful computer software called ArchiCAD. Its essence lies in so-called BIM, Building Information Modeling. Now, what does this means? This means that you have a virtual building model, in this case, an apartment, for example, and after designing all the things that you need, you can extract all the necessary drawings. For example, in this case, here you have a furniture plan, here you have constructional plan detail, plumbing fixtures, walls of your rooms, some flooring details and doors, schemes of electricity, dimensions of electricity, and used lighting fixtures. Then, for example, you have your ceilings, your HVAC, and again walls, and you can combine it into a project book PDF file or extract a final poster for your presentation. In this way, you can export your drawings out of your virtual building model as a PDF file, and it can be separate spreadsheets as you would do in real life when you have a project book where you have a separate drawings on a separate spreadsheets. For example, this is a site plan with situation scheme. Then separately you have a plan, building plan with all the measurements and room areas. Then you have facades, elevations with materials, and you have a building section. Or the other way is to export a whole final poster, a panel that you would use in your studies when having final reviews, where you have one panel with all the drawings exported also as a PDF file, but it contains all the necessary information that is required for you in other courses, other modules, especially architectural design courses. As an architect, we use drawings as our language. Of course, we could try to explain our building in a typical form of words and sentences, but imagine how awkward it would look like. That is why our drawings should be as tidy as our language in which we speak, and architect helps us in that. All right, and now when we already grasp the possibilities of ArchiCAD, how can it make our life easy as an architect? Let's dive in a little bit deeper into how our semester, our lectures gonna roll out. Here we have our semester plan. So each week you will be watching prepared videos. So for example, in the second week, you're going to start with walls, doors, windows. Then you're watching, on third week, you're watching the video about slabs, roofs, creating beams and columns, and so on and so on. And we're gonna have couple of midterm evaluations. What does that consist of? On the 8th week, right, you will have a midterm review, and that means that you will have to submit a library part, small object, uh, as native ArchiCAD library part and GSM format. You also should upload the reference picture, and you should model with the knowledge that you already will have in ArchiCAD, that small library object. Then on week 15, you're gonna have a final semester review, and here you will upload a couple of renders of your house. So first render is artistic visualization made with ArchiCAD, right? And the second render is as much photorealistic as possible render of the same house. You will learn everything during those courses of watching those videos, how to render those images with the help of ArchiCAD and how to adjust them later on. Then on our exam session, prior to exam date, you will have to send me upload to the Moodle system your final poster of your designed house, which should include all the necessary drawings as typically are asked from architecture students. So situation scheme, visualization, site plan, building floor plans, facades, elevations, and section, and all the explanatory notes with that. For all of these reviews, right, you will have a self-check test questions, right, to be sure that you've done everything correctly. And all those evaluations, those reviews make up evaluation. So midterm review object consists of 20% of the final mark. Those renders also make up 20% of the final mark, so each render 10%. And the representational PDF poster makes up 60%, right? And then you get a preliminary mark of your semester. So here is visually explain how it's going to be. GSM object on 8 week 20%, artistic and photorealistic renders each by 10% on 15 week. Then before the exam you upload poster and panel, which is 60%, and then you get a preliminary evaluation. If you were happy with that, that's it. Have a good holidays. If you're not, then during the exam, we open your ArchiCAD file and I ask you some questions about how you managed to do one thing or another in your ArchiCAD model, right? And you might upgrade. Then this poster panel doesn't count. Then counts ArchiCAD file explanation by you, and you get a final evaluation. But you, for example, you get preliminary evaluation of, let's say, 8, and you want to upgrade it, but your ArchiCAD file is messy and you do not answer me questions, then you might even get 7 or a lower mark, right? So you gotta be sure of your capabilities in ArchiCAD, And well, if you want to upgrade that, it's also possible, and you might get, for example, a higher evaluation. So this is how our semester evaluation is gonna consist. What is gonna consist of? So this is how our course will look like. You will watch those videos, try to repeat all the steps that I do, actually step by step, the same things. And during our meetings in person in classes, you will have a unique opportunity to ask me questions about your progress, because I'm sure that you will have some issues, right? Nothing comes very easy, right? So this is a unique opportunity to ask me questions. I will try to answer them. Hopefully I'll be able to, and I also hope that you will learn a lot during this semester that will help you later in your studies. So I'm waiting to see you all in this course. Good luck and take care.